Hello and welcome to News9 show The South Indian. My name is Sudha Sadanan. As usual, I shall bring to you 9 top stories from the south of India. Let me now begin with the first story coming up on your screens right now. Supreme Court refuses to postpone the Neet PG examination, says it would jeopardize the careers of 2 lakh students. That's the big story. No postponement of the Neet PG exam. This is now final. This is actually the third show in a row when we at News9 Live continue to highlight all the problems faced by students under the spectrum of Neet. In the latest, the Supreme Court today, which was all set to hear a bunch of petitions seeking postponement of the Neet PG exam scheduled for 11th August, has turned it down. Even as the petitioners argued that the allocated cities for the exam are highly inconvenient for many candidates to travel to and the exam should be postponed, the CJI said, and I quote him, "As a matter of principle, we will not reschedule. 2 lakh students and 4 lakh parents will suffer at the behest of 5 petitioners, will keep careers of 2 lakh students in jeopardy." You know what? After the layers of mess created with Neet UG, the Neet PG 2024 exam is actually testing the patience of nearly 1.5 to 2 lakh medical students, only because of what many are saying the draconian decisions taken by the National Board of Examinations in Medical Sciences, or NBEMS. Not only were these exams postponed many times, 3 times, the NBEMS at first allotted candidates exam centers not only far away from their homes but also outside their state of domicile. Then what happened? They tried to do a rectification on the earlier blunder. The NBEMS reassigned exam centers to some of the Neet PG 2024 candidates, citing the addition of new centers and the implementation of a 2-shift system on 11th August, the day of the exam, as measures to ensure student safety. While many aspirants in states like Kerala have indeed heaved a sigh of relief as they were reassigned centers either within the state or close by to other states like, let's say, Tamil Nadu, others faced and are facing massive problem. Many are complaining about not receiving any mail at all over the exam center allotment, while others have been complaining of reassigned cities located at far off places than the ones marked as preference. Also, the 2-shift system of taking the exam is creating a lot of confusion. This carries on, ladies and gentlemen. This carries on. I mean, I'm not, of course, one should not even speak about the apex court. But look at the NBEMS, and before that, the National Testing Agency, so far as Neet UG is concerned, one mess after the other. Let's try and discuss this. In the sense, unless we discuss this threadbare, I don't think we see any solution in sight. Joining me is Advocate Bhavin Vyas, who's a petitioner and president of Vidyarthi Vidya Suraksha Samiti, Ahmedabad, and Dr. Suvrankar Datta, who's the vice president of FIMA. Very, very warm welcome to both of you. Let me have a glass of water because I need all the strength. Dr. Datta, what do you think about this entire thing? About first assigning you centers, kilometers away, I do not know how many kilometers away from the state of domicile, and then saying, okay, we'll do due diligence, and then, not even telling the candidates where their exam centers are. What do you make of this, Dr. Datta?
Right. So when we first got the news of centers being allocated so far away from their domicile, in fact, in states which are very far away from their home, especially which is affecting South Indian states like Kerala to a great extent, we had reached out to our contacts in the ministry as well as in the NBMS, and we had put out a request from our side so that whatever best can be done for the aspirants who had reached out to us to request for a center which is more nearer to their homes, this can be done. We were promised by NB that they were already looking into it. And they had informed us that it was a problem probably of only 5% of the students. Because of logistical reasons, NB was unable to provide a center which was nearer to their home.
Right.
However, they told they are looking into it, and we saw that they had done some kind of a measure to rectify the wrongdoing which happened to the aspirants, and they allotted some centers, especially in Kerala and Karnataka, which were nearer to their homes. However, even after that, still there are many students who have centers which are very far away from the places where they stay in. In fact, we feel that there needs to be a major overhaul in the process of Neet PG, which is being conducted every year, because the number of aspirants has increased, the logistics have changed, the centers need to be increased, and we need to figure out a way in which we can accommodate this growing number of aspirants for Neet PG in the current scenario.
Absolutely. Of course, you know, I'll come to you once again because I have some questions on that also. But then, as of now, let Bhavin Vyas, who's a petitioner and President Vidyarthi Vidya Suraksha Samiti, also make his opening comments. Why is it, Mr. Vyas, that there is selectivity in this? I know Kerala went through landslides, there was torrential rains, but many parts of India are also facing very bad rains. I've been speaking to Neet PG aspirants and they say this is the third time. Do you know how much money we wasted? We booked tickets for a hotel, we booked tickets for transport, whether it is airfare or whether it is rails or whether it is even driving. We had to cancel it, and now they suddenly pop up and they say that okay, your center is here and here. Don't you feel there is some kind of a haphazard way of doing this? What is the logic?
Sudhaji, and I will congratulate News9 to taking up such an extraordinary questions of students into the light. The thing is that students are always facing some sorts of problem from the agencies who are putting such type of, or who are taking such type of examinations due to their say modus operandi and their own mind of working system. Not taking care of or not thinking about 2 lakh students, or even say 50 or 20 students who are, or say 1,000 students who are not receiving mails, or those who are having troubles. It is a very big question for these agencies to conduct the such type of test. Second most important thing is that India throughout, from north to south, from east to west, have seen lots of rain in this month. Where we have seen floods in Delhi, we have seen one landslide in Kerala, in Himachal also we have seen many landslides. So the students in that states and that particular states, and if they are traveling, they have right now got no position, and they are right now in not that position to travel around. The demographic factor of our country has stopped them. Even the train fares you see, and the reservations are now, when they are declaring the sites of the examinations are today, and within these 2 days they have to get the tickets done, and then they have to reach. So how they will buy their tickets even in train or get reservation is a question. Second thing, the airfare has gone drastically high.
Yeah, it's gone very high.
Third important thing is that the road transportation has also gone high.
Right.
And due to this stuff, they even can't travel through the road. So these all things should have been taken into account.
But it's not been. But it's not been, Mr. Vyas, Bhavin Vyas ji, it has not been. Now it is very clear that the no postponement of exams. We are sitting on 9th August, sir. Day after is the exam. I have to take a break right now. But when I come back, I keep this debate going with Bhavin Vyas ji and also Dr. Datta. No postponement for Neet PG. Let's discuss this threadbare. See you on the other side. Just do not go anywhere.
Have not quite lived up to their pre-tournament billing, delivering a series of less than convincing performances. With 2 draws and a solitary win,
your son will be Messi. No studies, just football all day.
with 2 draws and a
Go, my son, go. Make my face shine through playing football.
silence the critic.
Not only your face, but also the countries. I will conquer the world by playing football. Come, let's go to Germany.
World's largest football talent hunt, News9 Indian Tigers and Tigresses. In association with DFB Pokal, Bundesliga, BBB and India Football Center. Train and play matches in Europe. Register now and fly to Germany. IndianTigersandTigresses.com.
Big fan of Ian Bell, watching him very classy in all formats.
I find Durban quite a challenge, which is still an enjoyable one.
You're not allowed to bowl a bouncer, so that tells you that they want to see runs on the board.
बड़े अच्छे अच्छे टूर्स किए हैं, बड़ी अच्छी अच्छी यादें हैं हर जगह की, जहाँ मैंने पर्सनली क्रिकेट को बहुत एंजॉय किया है. ऑस्ट्रेलिया एंड इंडिया में बहुत ज़्यादा एंजॉय किया.
I love playing again England and India, and they were both very different challenges.
Up close and personal with legendary cricketers like never before. Icons of the pitch.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
So I'm Payal Nath, the CEO and director of Kadam Heart. We're working with people, we're working with emotions, we're working with hands, we're working with nature.
We are very clear, we want to commit to livelihoods. We want to commit to the planet. We want to impact 1 million artisans, which is 1 million families minimum.
Be the change that you want to see.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Fast, 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 fast.
My God, isn't she your daughter?
Yes.
She's playing football. This is boys' game. Make her study. If she doesn't get a good job, she will get a good match. Will you win the world by playing football?
Yes, auntie. My daughter will win the world by playing football.
Let's go to Germany.
World's largest football talent hunt, News9 Indian Tigers and Tigresses. In association with DFB Pokal, Bundesliga, BBB and India Football Center. Train and play matches in Europe. Register now and fly to Germany. IndianTigersandTigresses.com.
The burning topic that we are talking about, top of the South Indian, no postponement of Neet PG exam. That's what the Apex Court, Supreme Court said today. We have two guests. One is Advocate Bhavin Vyas, who's a petitioner and President Vidyarthi Vidya Suraksha Samiti, and Dr. Suvrankar Datta, Vice President FIMA. Dr. Datta, I want to ask you that, first of all, why is there this selective correction of exam centers only for a couple of states? Why is it not for everyone? They said, and I read the statements by NBEMS, they said we can't possibly cater to everyone's appeal. Well taken, point taken. You can't. But the thing is there a logic to this? Because a lot of students are still writing that this is mental torture.
Right. So I think, so FIMA represents the RDAs and associations all across India, especially the ones which represent medical students and junior doctors throughout the country. The representations we have received are from all across the country, right from places like Haryana, Delhi, people who have got the centers all across in Assam, Patna, and students from Kerala, Tamil Nadu, who have got their centers in different states. Obviously, we understand that in an ideal scenario, we expect the NBMS to allot centers to each and every aspirant who is participating in this exam as close as their home as possible. But we all know that in the beginning itself, in the way in which the allocation of centers started, based on the preference of 4 particular cities, which the aspirants had mentioned in their application, that also was not exactly in the manner of preference that the topmost
No, but
choice
yeah, I
or
know.
the first choice
But why?
of
Who's going to question them, sir? Will FIMA, I mean, you represent the students, you do take the problems of students, particularly NEET. I remember many of your reps have come on my shows. But what is the point, sir, when nothing can be done? It's not that they knew about it. First you cancel it 3 times, then you give me centers which are far away. I live in Thiruvananthapuram, but I am getting a center in Nellore. Very good. After that you correct it, but then I don't even know where my center is because there is no email. What is this, Dr. Doctor? I don't think that, it's not, I'm not saying that the NT or the NB EMS should be threatened. But the point is, where is the solution? I don't see one.
The solution which we were all hoping for, to be very honest, was from the Supreme Court intervening and giving us a solution to this impasse. However, we have to respect the decision of the Supreme Court that we cannot postpone the exam. What we can only do going forward is rectify the mistakes which has happened this year. And FIMA always questions any problem which the aspirants face in the exams. We do give our representations to the officials at NBE, to the officials in the ministry.
All right.
And we put forward.
Yeah. Dr. Datta, you of course sounding, very, very good in the sense that you're saying, okay, it's happened this time. Maybe next time we can avoid it, do something about it. But what about the lives? There are lots of lady doctors who some of them are pregnant. They say we can't travel. And also at a time when there is a medical emergency in many states because of the landslides and the floods, people need you, sir. If most of you travel out, who will take care of hospitals? Let me come back to you. Bhavin Vyas, also the other aspect is, the examination in 2 shifts. What's the logic?
Exactly.
They say student safety. What safety? Cheating. But students, so what nonsense is this? According to me, they don't even explain what student safety is. Also, the first shift paper is going to be different from the second shift paper. Don't you think there will be a lot of confusion, perhaps a bit of a controversy, because if I get an easy paper and you get a tough paper? I mean, explain this, Bhavin Vyas.
See, there were 4 main, prayer in the petition. Firstly, were the cities and centers in the way which they were allocated. Second was the 4 set of paper. Third was the examination which were going to be taken in 2 batches. And the paper leak allegation which has surfaced right now. So the petitioner seeks the disclosure of the normalization of the 4 sets of paper to ensure the transparency and eliminate any types of doubts or possibilities that occurs, but in the evaluation process, of course. But that has not been specified by NBEMS. So due to that particular reason, there is a lot of exaggeration and anxiety in the students, and they are going into apprehension that what will happen if one batch paper will be normal and another batch paper would be tough. How they are going to evaluate the thing have not been discussed or have not been kept anywhere on the site or been given in a form of way of a circular. The second most important thing which students are asking to normalize the formula of how the evaluation will be once the examination have been conducted. Even students don't know that in which way the evaluation will be done in these 2 batches of the paper. Already there are 4 sets of paper. Then the examinations are going to be conducted into 2 batches. Either set of paper would be given to them as in NEET UG. So students are really in dilemma that how it will affect their examination results, and after having so much trouble in traveling and all this stuff and reaching to the centers, they are still in a question mark format that will they be able to score or will they be able to manage and pull this examination out or not.
All right. Dr. Datta, please, weigh in on the multiple problems that are there. Of course, one is initially about exam centers being very far away. Of course, it's been rectified for some states. It does exist even now. Talk a little bit about the student safety in the sense that does NBEMS mean that if we conduct exams in 2 shifts, Is it ease of conducting the examination, or there is a paranoia that there could be unfair practices, much like what the entire nation witnessed when it come to NEET UG, sir?
Right. So I think there are two aspects to this.
Okay.
There are pros and cons of this particular two-shift practice, which the examiner who is participating in this exam just 4 years back, I would say that normalization does bring a lot of confusion in the minds of the aspirants, because it's a very competitive exam, NEET PG. And even 1 or 2 marks difference makes a hell lot of difference for the aspirant to get a college or not get a college. So in such a scenario, unless the normalization process, which the NBMS is telling us that they are going to be conducting to ensure that it's a very fair game for everyone, unless that particular process is well vetted and very well accepted by everyone, I think there will always be confusion that how NBMS decided on the basis of percentile or their entire normalization procedure that this person is going to get this particular rank and the other person is going to get this particular rank. Because you cannot do it in terms of marks, because the question paper difficulties will be very different. That is number one. And second thing is that regarding the problem of safety, I feel if you look at it from a very neutral point of view, if you want to allocate the same center to multiple people who are near to their homes, it is probably the only way to do that without multiplying the center by 2 is to do it in 2 shifts. Number one. I think that is what exactly NBMS has tried to do, but they have tried to justify this by bringing in normalization, which I feel as an aspirant who has been on their side is a little bit unfair to the students.
It's a little, I missed that, the last bit. It's a little, what did you say? It's a little unfair?
It's a little bit unfair to the students.
Right, okay. Bhavin Vyas, what is the way out? It's unfair, you know, whether you see the NTA, whether you see the NBEMS. Listen, here we are dealing with the medical fraternity of this country. A very, very important workforce. Without that, no civilization, no country can ever survive. Why is there this attitude? Why is it that there are no solutions found for these problems, which seems to be, I've seen this since COVID, sir. Whether it's counseling, postponement, lot of distress. I remember floods were there in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, students unable to go, they are hitching rides, taking boats. I mean, what's the way out, Bhavin?
See, the decisions of NDA, EMS and NTA are so that they have created a vulnerability, a distrust, and prompting the students, those who are seeking an assurance from them. Okay, means you are the body, you are the administration, you have the power to control all the things and to put a system in a format that everybody who is appearing in the examinations have a soft and smooth way out. But unfortunately, the administration somehow goes to the potholes when it comes to a decision making. As my dear friend have said and commented 2 or 3 things which were quite important, that the safety lies in the hands of the administrative department who are taking such type of examinations. And these are not small departments, or these are not small institutions. They are a par level institutions. They need to understand the
I know, but although in NEET UG there are now decisions that, you know, it will be improved, you know, NTA will try and overhaul the system, it will be more digital, etc., etc. But overall, you look at NBEMS, it's behaving like it's conducting NEET PG for the first time. Don't you think? Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Sorry to interrupt. They have yet not learned from the NEET UG decision and the instructions given by the Supreme Court. The instruction in NEET UG, they have clearly said to NTA that you have to be very perfect in your decisions and in your working scenario. you are earning a profit of 100 crore, more than 100 crore. And if you are not utilizing that amount in a beneficiary way to the students or to the candidates who are aspirants and who are giving such examinations, then the questions will be asked again and again. There would be litigation again and again. And the phase which is conducting such big examinations will be just like rubbished by all the people around.
On that note, thank you very much. I've completely run out of time. Advocate Bhavin Vyas, thanks is due to you, and also to Dr. Surrankar Dotto, Vice President of FIMA. And I'll tell you what, Neet PG aspirants, I'm sure that you're going to slay the exam. But my heart is with all of you, wishing you all the best. I'm sure that you will come out with very, very flying colors. Thank you indeed. Coming up next, the second story in the South Indian is Congress launches Jana Andolan to counter BJP's Chalo, Mysuru, Padyatra. Will Siddaramaiah be able to overcome the crisis? That's what we have to wait and watch. Why is the state not looking at putting an embargo on that?
As a Telangana person, I will not accept.
How do ordinary folks deal with this?
From July 26 to August 11, the world's eyes will be on Paris. The City of Lights is hosting the biggest stars of the global sporting firmament at the Olympics.
I do expect us to do better than 7 medals.
I'm very excited because this would be my first Olympics, and let's see how it goes.
Ever since Rio 2016, it's been India's endeavor to cross double digits.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Joe Biden is not going to be the Democratic presidential nominee.
I made my choice. Kamala Harris. She's experienced. She's tough. She's capable.
I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
I am the one saving democracy.
He has tapped into the fear and anxiety about demographic change in the US.
This polarization in the United States. Some people are even suggesting that there could be a civil war.
You are this unable to solve your own domestic problems. You have no right to claim to be anybody else in the world. And we're moving into a multipolar world where the United States will not lead.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
All right, our second big story on the South Indian. Siddaramaiah backed into a corner? We're asking that question. It seems pretty much like that. It's Mysuru which has become ground zero for all the political action in Karnataka today. Two yatras have unfolded there. The Mysuru Chalo Yatra of the BJP JDS combined and the Jana Andolan Yatra helmed by the ruling Congress party. The venue is also the same, the Maharaja's College ground in Mysuru. At the center of these two mega yatras is trying to prove how corrupt the other party is. Corruption is right at the center of all this. The BJP JDS Yatra, with a mission of cornering Chief Minister Siddaramaiah over the Muda and Valmiki scam, has run into trouble. And they suddenly became two separate yatras in one. The reason is the infighting between alliance partners BJP and JDS, which began when H.D. Kumaraswamy took exception to Hassan legislator of the BJP, Pritham Gowda's presence at the coordination committee meeting convened for the yatra. It started there, later snowballed into BJP taking out a march with their party workers and the JDS leaders doing their own thing. And of course, the exit of Pritham Gowda from the yatra. We shall find out what are the reasons for this complete lack of synergy between alliance partners, the BJP and JDS. Now, the other aspect of the story is the Jana Andolan Yatra of the Congress, which has also reached Mysuru today with the intent of exposing various scams of the BJP and the JDS. A huge dais with the slogan Satyameva Jayate has been erected with Congress leaders listing the achievements of the government in this mission to look holier than thou. The most vulnerable man today is none other than Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. He seems to be cornered into a box, but the seasoned politician that he is, will he wriggle out finally? Let's debate. B.S. Arun, senior journalist, is joining us on the debate. Dr. Baswaraj Itnal, senior journalist and political analyst, and Professor Chambi Puranik, senior political analyst. All of them have joined us on this broadcast. Let's try and understand two aspects of it. First up, Mr. B.S. Arun, this open fighting between BJP and JDS, it started when HDK said, if he is there, I will not take part in this. He said, I am not taking part in the yatra. Then, of course, he was coaxed into it. Today, imagine there is same yatra, this side JDS, this side BJP. They are singing songs in praise of Vijendra. They are singing songs in, praise of Devegowda and HDK and Nikhil, everyone. What is the point?
Sudha, these two parties have been going together very strongly over the ever since the Maitri, the alliance took place a few months ago before the Lok Sabha election. There was no problem with these people except that in Hassan, that the issue was there because of the Pritham Gowda issue, because of which there was some trouble in the alliance. Otherwise, Kumaraswamy has been made a union minister, has been given two powerful portfolios. So there was no issue as such. But then when the Padyatra started from Bangalore to Mysore, as you mentioned, the JDS demanded that Pritham Gowda should not be there. But then after the first day of the Padyatra, he surfaced, Pritham Gowda surfaced, and then started on the problem. I think at least at three stages, the JDU decided to part, with the BJP as far as the Padyatra was concerned. They were, following BJP at a distance. So, meetings were held separately. So, this showed that there was some problem between the two parties. I think tomorrow, we will know finally what stage it has reached. But I don't think, it will lead to a huge problem because of the alliance at the center. JDS is already a part of the NDA. So I don't think, it will pose a big problem to the alliance. I think it's only the present issues that will be, ironed over.
Yeah, but the messaging, Arun, is very bad. They always had an ideological difference. This was a marriage of convenience. Just before the elections, they came together. Of course, HDK has been kicked upstairs. He's been been made a union minister, but the point is that the problems have been there since now, and it's out in the open. I mean, the Karyakartas know, the cadre knows whether they're staying together or not staying together, yields or does not yield result is not the point. It's about perception. Politics is now particularly more about perception. Dr. Itnal, would you agree that the perception that is being created is that we detest each other, but what to do, we have to march together. But the point is, would you see it as advantage Congress? Dr. Itnal.
See, as far as JDS BJP alliance is concerned, most of us, even the voter, knew that, like you, the word that you used is marriage of convenience, because JDS and Kumaraswamy and Devegowda have hobnobbed with all parties in the spectrum. You know, whether it is in 2004 with Dharam Singh, subsequently with Yediyurappa, or again with Siddaramaiah's Congress very recently. And never in the history, this alliance, whenever fallout happened, it never ended, decently. It always ended ugly. Whether it was with Dharam Singh or Yediyurappa or Siddaramaiah's Congress.
Right.
The coalition of JDS always ends ugly, that you know. And did Kumaraswamy know that Pritam Gowda is a BJP member or not when entering into alliance? Of course he knew.
Of course he did.
So when BJP and JDS alliance together, they go on a Padyatra, does he expect Pritam Gowda to be aloof? Obviously not. But the point here is Pritam Gowda had been very vociferous against Gowda family. He was talking very loudly against the family's stronghold about the party and politics and even corruption case and all that. Now, last week, a few days ago, when Pritam Gowda came, he joined this Padyatra, there were slogans shouted saying Pritam Gowda is the Gowda of Gowdas. So that did not go down well with the Kumaraswamy supporters, and that created a huge scene in the Yatra there. Having said that, this may not really be advantage Congress, because even a common man would ask, why is Siddaramaiah on the streets today?
Right.
Easy again. So when he was on the street last, it was to oppose Reddy's mining scams in Bellary. So there was an objective. He was opposing certain corruption. Now, what is he doing now?
Yeah, that's what
Is he defending the charges of
Dr. Itnal, you've nailed it. You know, when I climb on, complete it, but let me add this. When you climb onto the rooftops and say, I'm innocent, you are the one who's a culprit, I'm innocent, you are a criminal, we know. Go on.
So now, if at all he wanted to defend, there was an opportunity on the floor of the House. It is his government, he is the speaker, denied debate on the same issue. And now you are shouting on the rooftop on the streets. No, whatever Siddaramaiah is saying on the dais today, the same thing he would have told on the floor of the House on record.
Yeah.
And he missed that bus.
Right.
And willfully. And now he's fighting here. And what is he saying? I'm seeing a totally new Siddaramaiah today.
Right.
Siddaramaiah never took shelter on others' corruption cases. On the case of opposition. Today he's saying Yediyurappa has done it. BJP has done this. Kumaraswamy has done this.
I want to ask Professor Chambi Puranik, I want you to come into the debate because I'll then run out of time and I will not be, fair to all of you very, very erudite gentlemen here. Professor Puranik, Dr. Itnal, what he said is my story. I also feel today's, Siddaramaiah, well, you've known him. Somewhere.
5 decades.
Huh? Oh, wow.
I know him for the last 5 decades.
Lovely, Professor. I'm saying they went to Delhi, Siddaramaiah and DKS. I think they've been told by the Congress leadership, go and scream about your innocence, because this seems to be, this time around, you are stuck badly when it comes to Muda. Do you think that Siddaramaiah has been backed into a corner, sir?
Definitely, Sudha. I agree with both Arun and my friend Itnal. They have the same point, which I wanted to mention. He has mentioned, the same Siddaramaiah allowed a discussion, a detailed discussion, and rebutted it on the floor of the House about that Valmiki Nigama, that kind of whatever scandal, the money laundering and all that. But I think, very cleverly, or I don't know, intentionally, he did not allow a debate on this Muda issue. That itself shows he was on the back foot. I think Mr. Etnal has clarified it. I will not go into it. But second thing is, you see, for the last 42 years, there is not a single allegation against Siddaramaiah. He has been very clever, shrewd in avoiding such controversies and all that, which is true. That yes, today in the speech is mentioned, he does not own a house in Mysuru and all that. I know he sold his 1 or 2 houses to meet the whatever loan commitments and all that. So I think, from that point of view, I would say till recently, he was not accused of any such lapse or case, serious case. But in this case, Sudha, the point is very, very surprising. In 2001, the same land, survey number 464 with 3.16 acres, see, that particular thing is already declared as denotified and taken by MUDA. And in 2010, that particular land is bought by his brother-in-law. That means technically and legally, there are problems where Siddaramaiah, perhaps, in spite of all this demonstration today and the defense and the public kind of support, he himself, 3 times today he mentioned namaskara to the crowd to say that I need that. So that means there is a kind of whatever disturbance in his mind, that there is going to be a very serious thing. Second thing is about the role of the governor. Governor is going to give permission or not. That perhaps is also hunting on him. So therefore he wants to get the public sympathy and support. When you go and ask public to support you for a legal case, for example, Mr. Yediyurappa's case, he was accused and he went up to Supreme Court and got a clean chit. Same thing Siddaramaiah should have said, being a lawyer himself, he should have said, I am ready to face any inquiry. Let there be a discussion in the House. Let there be a case against me. I don't mind. That kind of defense would have been better rather than taking shelter in this particular thing. Second thing is, for D.K. Shivakumar, it is an opportunity to demonstrate his credentials before Siddaramaiah and the public of Karnataka, saying that he is like a rock with Siddaramaiah and he is not aspiring for Chief Minister's post. But he mentioned one point today. Under my leadership, Congress got 136 seats. He repeatedly mentioned that because of me as President of Congress, I got that majority. That itself shows there is a kind of...
So let me also ask B.S. Arun about it. B.S. Arun, what I see, both Dr. Etnal and Professor Puranik, they both saying that there is more to it than meets the eye. He's going around tom-tomming his innocence. He's spoken about, I'm a backward, that's why you're attacking me. Today he's spoken about all the, old cases have been taken out of the box and thrown into the air to say, look how corrupt the BJP, how corrupt the JDS are all. B.S. Arun, do you also sense that he's being cornered? Siddaramaiah, for the first time after he's being sworn in, really, because, T.J. Abraham has petitioned, has told the governor is mulling over legal options. Siddaramaiah has even attacked T.J. Abraham, saying he's a blackmailer. What do you make of this? What do you read from this?
Yes, he has been pushed into a corner. There's no doubt about it. Otherwise, he wouldn't have, taken this yatra at all or made a speech in Mysuru today. But then, he also wants to take shelter under the fact that, the things happened when he was not in power. And he says that it was the BJP which was in power when the land allotment transfer took place. So he is not involved in any of these issues. Directly, he may not have been, but whether he is involved, indirectly, whether he was pressurizing the officials, that remains to be seen. Having said that, I think legally there is a question mark as to whether would Siddaramaiah be really cornered, because there is nothing on record to show about his involvement. Secondly, Sudha, what I also understand from this entire episode is that the BJP is taking it politically also. The Ahinda, the backwoods, the minorities, the scheduled castes, there's a strong backbone of support for Siddaramaiah. Now, if Siddaramaiah is cornered, and in case inquiry happens and in case he decides to resign, then it is this vote bank that the BJP might split, might try to take advantage of it, might gather support from these groups. So I think that is in the, it's one corner of thinking of the BJP.
All right.
That's why it's going all hogs against Siddaramaiah.
All
they
right.
are not bothered about the Congress as such, but Siddaramaiah, yes, because he's seen as a powerful person having the entire
right. I get your point. I mean, that's a very interesting kind of an observation, Arun, that you've made. But Dr. Itnal, I also get a feeling that in all this, it will be advantage DK Shivakumar, because the thing is, you see how DK Shivakumar is taking on HDK and the JDS, while touring here, training his guns on them, and of course, he's standing very loyally next to his boss. But we all know that what he's been, that's what he's been planning. So who knows, maybe it will be advantage DK Shivakumar. Do you see, because there are no elections, which are on the anvil, which are so important. But then it seems there is talk about make him the chief minister, let's have different deputy chief ministers. Do you think this could act as a preamble, Dr. Itnal?
Seen in the context of the power sharing formula that, that is set to happen at the high command level last year, this definitely works in favor of DK Shivakumar, because time and again it was being refused and denied publicly that there was no such a power sharing formula. But having said that, today, if it is not so, immediately after that, MP Patil went public saying that Siddaramaiah will be chief minister for full 5 terms. Today, Sudha, right today, Basavaraj Rai Reddy, the chief economic advisor of chief minister, he was, he is quoted as saying that Siddaramaiah will be chief minister for full five-year term. So again, that somewhere that rift is also happening in Congress.
Right.
So you see, in that context, this definitely works in favor of DK Shivakumar. DK Shivakumar has a better face to ask for a change in the guard.
All right. Okay. And Professor Chambi Puranik, I have 1 minute left. Professor Chambi Puranik, do you think this is the toughest challenge being faced by Siddaramaiah since he's been sworn in after a fabulous victory, sir?
Absolutely. This is something which Siddaramaiah never expected in his career of 42 years of public life and all that. So therefore, Siddaramaiah, apart from Siddaramaiah, you see, within the Congress itself, there is a strong rumor that Satish Jarkhed is going to be the successor to Siddaramaiah in case he is made to resign after governor gives permission and the case is lodged and the FIR, etc. I mean, they are filed and all. So therefore, I think, within the Congress itself, there is no unanimity, except that the show which they demonstrated today. But you read in between the kind of a speech that Shivakumar made. He said, I will like a rock, and the rock will support Siddaramaiah and Congress party. I will not allow H.D. Devegowda and Kumaraswamy family to take over the Congress government. So that means to say, there is a kind of hidden agenda which I mentioned.
So there is a kind of
with my colleagues.
It's getting to be very mysterious, and let's see in a couple of days what really unfolds so far as Siddaramaiah is concerned. But as of now, my thanks are due to Professor Puranik. Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Itnal, it's such a pleasure. B.S. Arun, thanks very much for joining me on this debate. And now let's move on. The next big story is coming from Tamil Nadu and from Kanchipuram. Outrage after adult film star Mia Khalifa's picture appeared on a religious hoarding in the holy city of Kanchipuram. That's the story. Row over Mia Khalifa's picture on a religious hoarding. That's the hoarding and that's Mia Khalifa, as you can see very clearly. In Tamil Nadu's Kanchipuram district, a banner featuring former adult film star Mia Khalifa has sparked outrage during a temple festival. The hoarding, which is part of the decorations for the Adi Perikku festival, which happens during these months, depicted Mia Khalifa carrying a traditional milk pot or a vessel, a sight that was very puzzling and out of place because this is considered to be a religious celebration. The Adi Perikku festival is marked by rituals and decorations in temples dedicated to the goddess, who's called like Amman in Tamil, an incarnation of Parvati. The banner put up by youths in Karuvimalai village for the Adi Villi Amman festival showed Khalifa dressed in a yellow sari carrying a milk pot. Her image was placed alongside deities, leading to widespread controversy and heated online debates. The inclusion of Khalifa's photo in the festival's promotional materials has shocked many, leading to discussions about cultural sensitivity and some respect for religious traditions. Following the surfacing of photographs of the banner on social media, local police was of course informed and they promptly removed the controversial banner. However, the incident has left many questions unanswered, including how did Mia Khalifa's image ended on the banner and whether its inclusion was intentional, maybe it was kind of mischief, or was it a genuine mistake? Now my take over this issue, considering I belong to Kanchipuram. Whether deliberate or unintentional, this is my take. The frenzy with which banners and hoardings are put up, particularly in Tamil Nadu and Kanchipuram, it must perhaps be an over-enthusiastic person who, in his bid to make the hoarding look better and pretty, may have randomly selected a picture from the internet and used it. But the onus is not on this poor man who may have designed the banner, but on the craze of plucking any picture from the internet and using it. It's like free for all. You take a picture, you like a picture and use it without requesting for permission, etc. It boils down practically only to that. But yes, it's a major embarrassment, considering it's a religious festival which is taking place and you have an adult star's picture there, but it's not Mia Khalifa's fault. That's my final take on this. And as promised, I leave you with some of the other top headlines from the south of India. Namaskara.
जानना है तो देखिए, समझना है तो सुनिए, सीखना है तो पूछिए और कमाना है तो खरीदिए। जानकारी, सलाह और निवेश सब एक ही सुपर ऐप पर। पैसे का सवाल है तो जवाब है मनी।